Hello, grade 2. Welcome back and welcome to the fourth quarter. For today, we are going to discuss about fractions. And after watching this video, you are expected to be able to recognize the fractions 1/2 and 1/4. Later on, we are going to, or I am going to elaborate what 1/2 means and what 1/4 means. And the second goal of this video is in order for you to be able to recognize and name fractions. Are you ready now? So let's start with brainstorming. What comes to mind when you hear the word fraction? When someone says you or tells you something about fraction, what comes to mind? Here are the things that will possibly come to mind when you hear the word fraction. The first one is 1/2. This is a very common fraction. 1/4, another common fraction. Or you can think of a circle divided into parts. Part is shaded, something like this. Or if you are hungry, you can think of a pizza. A pizza that is divided into slices. These are some of the things you can think of when you hear the word fraction. Now let's define what fraction really means or what fraction really is. A fraction is just a part of a whole. Remember the word part and the word whole. We've used these words when we use bar model, right? In a bar model, there's a part, there's a whole. All right, let's consider this pizza again. Notice that the pizza is not complete. It's not yet whole, meaning one part or something is missing. One slice is missing, actually. Or we say one part of the pizza is missing. Or we say that this is the missing part of the pizza. Next, let's understand the term equal parts. Equal means, or equal parts means, the parts should be of the same size. The parts should be of the same size. Which of the following shapes are divided into equal parts? Let's start with the triangles. Which of the two triangles do you think is divided into two equal parts? Again, when we say equal parts, the parts should be of the same size. Is it the first triangle or the second triangle? If your answer is the first one, congratulations, you are correct. Now let's move on to the two circles. Which do you think is divided into equal parts? The first circle is divided into 3 parts. The second circle is divided into 2 parts. But we're looking for the one that is divided into equal parts. Is it the first or the second circle? If your answer is the second circle, you are correct. Next, let's have the squares. The first square is divided into 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. The second square is divided into 1, 2, 3 parts. And which do you think is divided into equal parts? It's the first square. Congratulations. And now let's move on to the rectangles. Which do you think is divided into equal parts? I think it's pretty obvious in this example, and it is the first rectangle. Grade 2, there are other ways of dividing this rectangle into 4 equal parts. And I want to challenge you to find these other ways. You can do it on your own after watching this video, or you can pause this video for a while and try to figure out what the other ways of dividing this rectangle into 4 equal parts. You can do the same thing to the square, to the triangle, and to the circle. All right, let's have the halves and quarters. I've already introduced to you in the beginning of my video about halves and quarters. I think not much on quarters. Okay, don't worry. I'm going to formally introduce to you what 1/2 is and what 1/4 or 1/4 is. Let's have this apple. This is considered as a whole apple. And let's divide or cut this into 2 equal parts. Notice that the parts are of the same size. Each part is a half or 1/2, meaning this is 1/2 and the other part is also 1/2. And how do you write 1/2? 1 on top, 2 at the bottom. Let's have another apple, a green apple this time. This is a whole apple. And let's cut or divide this into 4 equal parts. We have now 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. Notice that the parts or the slices are of the same size. Each part is what we call a quarter, or 1/4 or 1/4. Meaning, this is 1/4, this part is also 1/4, this part is 1/4, and this part is 1/4. As what I've said, 1/2 and 1/4 are fractions. These are some examples of fractions. Let's have the square. The square is divided into 2 equal parts, and one part is shaded. The question now is, what is the fraction of the shaded part? Take note that one part is shaded out of 2 equal parts. So we say 1/2 of the square is shaded. When we say 1/2, it means 1 out of 2 equal parts. One part is shaded out of 2 equal parts. And 1/2 is read as 1/2. Okay? Let's have another example. It's still a square, but this time it is divided into 4 equal parts. And notice that one part is shaded. The question is, what is the fraction of the shaded part? If we're going to answer that question, you have to know how many parts are shaded. In this case, there's only one part is shaded out of how many equal parts? There are 4 equal parts. We say 1/4 or 1/4 of the square is shaded. What do you mean by 1/4 or 1/4? It means 1 out of 4 equal parts. One part is shaded out of 4 equal parts. And 1/4 is read as 1/4 or 1/4. All right. Now let's discuss further about naming fractions. How do we name fractions? I have here two examples, and let's start with the first example. We have a circle divided into 3 equal parts. 1, 2, 3 equal parts. We say there are 3 equal parts. How many parts are shaded? 1, 2. We say 2 of the 3 equal parts are shaded. Take note of that. Now, what is the fraction of the shaded part? We say 2/3 of the circle is shaded. Again, how do you read this? 2/3 or just 2/3. Let's have another example. It's still a circle. By the way, grade 2, you can use other shapes. The circle is divided into how many equal parts? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 equal parts. Out of 8 equal parts, how many of them are shaded? Let's count. 1, 2, 3. 3 of the 8 equal parts are shaded. So the question now is, what is the fraction of the shaded part? 3/8 or 3/8 of the circle is shaded. Did you get it? That's how you are going to name fractions. First, you are going to determine or find out how many parts the given shape is divided into. That will be the number at the bottom. Next, you are going to determine how many parts are being shaded. That will be the number on top. Okay? That's it, grade 2. And I hope that you learned something from this video. I'll see you in our Zoom classes. Bye-bye.